Namaste everyone, my name is Lakhan Panchal and here we have a beautiful topic from class 9th Beehive. The title of the chapter is A Truly Beautiful Mind. So there are some pictures on the screen and I expect you to identify who this fellow is. Okay, so let's go into the chapter. Highlights from the chapter. This chapter is a biographical piece and talks about the other side of Albert Einstein's personality. This chapter also highlights his interest in mathematics and physics, and we come across a few interesting incidents from his life. So let's start paragraph number 1 of the chapter. Paragraph number 1. Albert Einstein was born on 14th March 1879 in the German city of Ulm without any indication that he was destined for greatness. In the opening paragraph, we get some information about his birth and the place where he was born. Without any indication that he was destined for greatness, destined for means decided by fate. That means when he was born, nobody could predict that one day he would become a great scientist. On the contrary means opposite. His mother thought Albert was a freak. Freak means extremely unusual and not like any other of its type. Albert was a freak. That means Albert was not like other children of his age. He did not behave the way a child should. That is why the mother said he was a freak. To her, his head seemed much too large. And not only this, the head of Albert was another problem for the mother. His head being too large, larger than other children's head. Paragraph number 2. At the age of 2.5, Einstein still wasn't talking. This is noteworthy that he was 2.5 years old, but he was not able to talk. And that was a concern because usually children start speaking at the age of 1. But Einstein, he was 2.5. That does not mean that he did not learn to speak. When he finally did learn to speak, he uttered. Uttered means to say something. Everything twice. Whatever he spoke, he repeated them. He spoke 2 times. Next is Einstein did not know what to do with other children. As his mother said, he was a freak. So Einstein was not aware, did not know what to do with other children. That means how to mingle with them, how to play with them, how to cooperate with them, and that is why his playmates called him Brother Boring. So a tag he received from his playmates, that is Brother Boring, because he was introvert kind of fellow. Then what happens? So the youngster played by himself much of the time. Now he was not mingling with other children, so he spent most of time by himself. He especially loved mechanical toys. This statement tells us 2 important things about Einstein's character. Number 1 is he loved what he liked, his interest towards mechanical toys. And when we read this mechanical word here, that means what? His interest towards physics. Right, कूद के पैर पालने में देख जाना. So this is the first indication that he loved mechanical toys. His interest towards physics. So he especially loved mechanical toys, and to what extent actually? How much? That looking at his newborn sister. Newborn means recently born. Maza was the name of, and you can see in the picture Maza and Einstein. He is said to have said. What he said to see her? Fine, but where are her wheels? He thought her sister to be a mechanical toys with wheels. So we can see here that what he said, but where are her wheels? Paragraph number 3. A headmaster once told his father that what Einstein chose as a profession wouldn't matter, because he'll never make a success at anything. Here we can see the negative remark by the headmaster to his father that he'll never make a success at anything. Here we can see the school, the headmaster not able to identify his potential that one day he would become a great scientist. A negative remark, he'll never make a success at any point. Apart from that, we see Einstein began learning to play the violin at the age of 6. This is again about his hobby that he began playing the violin at the age of 6 because his mother wanted him to. And it was slightly, we can see that who was the driving force behind this, his mother. And later became a gifted amateur violinist. Amateur means taking part in an activity for pleasure, not as a job, not as a professional. Okay, so he later became a gifted amateur violinist, means he learned violin and he was good at it, very good at it, we can say, maintaining this skill throughout his life. And throughout his life he remained an amateur violinist. Paragraph number 4. But Albert Einstein was not a bad pupil. Pupil means a student. So he was not a bad student. He went to high school in Munich. Munich is a place where Einstein's family had moved. Moved means shifted when he was 15 months old. And he scored good marks. So not a bad pupil. The evidence is that he scored good marks. And not in 1 and 2 subjects. In almost every subject. Einstein hated the school's regimentation. One thing was there that he did not like, and that was regimentation. What is regimentation? Control of people. You see, there are various people in school and they have a kind of control on you that when they say don't move in corridor, slow, speak slowly, politely, behave, move in line. So he did not like this regimentation and often clashed with his teachers. Clashed means argued with his teachers. Because he did not want to be under control. He wanted liberty, and that is why he clashed with his teachers. See, when he was 15 years old, he felt so stifled there. Stifled means suffocated, feel unable to breathe. In Hindi we can see dam ghutna. So stifled there that he left the school for good. For good means forever. So he left the school for good, forever. Paragraph number 5 and 6. The previous year, Albert's parents had moved to Milan and left their son with relatives. So now, in the previous paragraph, we see that Albert's parents had moved to Munich, right? But now to Milan, from Munich to Milan. So they moved to Milan, but what about Albert? Albert was left with relatives. After prolonged discussion, prolong means last a longer time, something which goes for a long time. So after a long discussion, Einstein got his wish to continue his education in German speaking Switzerland. In the previous paragraph we also see that he had left school for forever, but now German speaking Switzerland, he finally decided that he would continue his study in Switzerland, where the communicating language is what? German speaking Switzerland. Apart from that, in a city which was more liberal than Munich. So here we see that he wanted a city, he wanted a place which was more liberal than Munich. What about Munich? In Munich, what he found, what he experienced, regimentation of a school, control of people over him, that he did not like. So he wanted a place that was more liberal than Munich. Now, liberal is what? Liberal means respecting and allowing different types of beliefs and behavior, respecting your ideas, respecting you even. Okay, paragraph number 2. At the age of 2.5, Einstein still wasn't talking. This is noteworthy that he was 2.5 years old, but he was not able to talk. and that was a concern because usually children start speaking at the age of 1, but Einstein, he was 2.5. That does not mean that he did not learn to speak. When he finally did learn to speak, he uttered means to say something, everything twice. Whatever he spoke, he repeated them. He spoke 2 times. Next is Einstein did not know what to do with other children. As his mother said, he was a freak. So Einstein was not aware, did not know what to do with other children. That means how to mingle with them, how to play with them, how to cooperate with them, and that is why his playmates called him Brother Boring. So title or tag here is paragraph number 7. He also felt a special interest in a fellow student, Mileva Merrick. So in the previous paragraph we see that it was not science that appealed to the dashing young man. It was something else. And what was that? A fellow student whose name was Mileva Merrick, whom he found to be a clever creature. So according to Einstein, she was a clever creature. Clever creature in what sense? We'll see later. So this young sub, here this young sub refers to Mileva Merrick, had come to Switzerland. So this girl had come to Switzerland from Serbia. For what? Because the university in Zurich, where Einstein was studying, was one of the few universities in Europe where women could get degrees. So we can say that there may be some universities which did not allow women to get degrees to continue their further studies. But luckily this was the university where they could get their degrees. Now Einstein saw in her an ally. Ally means helper. So Einstein saw this girl as helper. Helper against whom? Against Philistines. Philistines is a term is used here. Those people in his family. So here the term Philistine has been used for those people in his family and the university with whom he was constantly at odds. Constantly means all the time, most of time. At odds means to disgrace. So these people have been called Philistine here. The couple fell in love, and finally what happened? They fell in love. Letters survive in which they put their affection into words. So finally the couple fell in love and they put their feelings into words, mixing science with tenderness. So this feeling, because both of them belonging to science, so whatever they wrote in the letters, they mixed science with tenderness, with their feeling and the quality of being gentle, kind or loving this way. Wrote Einstein, how happy. So he expressed his feeling in the sentence that how happy and proud I shall be when we both have brought our work. Here he is talking about we, not you, we. So it shows that unity actually. We both have brought our work on relativity to a victorious conclusion. So victorious conclusion means it would be good if we both finish it. Means instead of me and instead of you, better we work together and finish it.